Hi everyone, it's Willie with Willie's Life. Uh, I'm here to talk to you guys about how I cut 50 pounds and how it might work for you. Uh, I ended up, I had a couple of accidents and herniations and started causing me some anxiety um, and panic attacks. And two things were found out when I went in and got my blood work done, and then when I got my X-rays. One is that all the all the compression of my neck was causing me pinching my nerves and causing me panic and like a nervousness and stuff like that. On top of me falling over was a combination of that, and on top of it, panic attacks and anxiety can come from excessive amounts of caffeine, not sleeping, and also it also brings and when you got diabetes or pre-diabetes, it also helps all aggravate all that stuff. So um, in order to and I had gained extra weight. I weighed 270, and my normal weight, a normal good weight for me was anywhere from 212 to 230. So but I was kind of in this bulking mindset. I wanted to get really big, and I wasn't really thinking about being lean and being healthy. I was kind of living this thing in my mind where I wanted to be as big as possible, and I figured that I could still somehow maintain my health, and still eat whatever I wanted, and kind of do the teenager, typical teenager diet, and like I'd always had. I always ate whatever I wanted. I did what I want. I was stubborn, and it didn't work out. So the things that how I cut 50 pounds was actually uh, was pretty simple, really. And um, the 50 pounds, I think I cut 23 pounds in 5 weeks, and that was from 100% carnivore diet, which is just basically red meat and eggs, butter, things like that. And I ate red meat. My wife, she loves chicken and uh, basically, and she loves bacon. So when she went on her carnivore thing, it was more that direction. Myself was red meat. So um, as far as like cutting weight, there's two things that you got to remember when you're cutting weight, and yeah, it's related directly to diet. One is that if you are going to eat carbs, they need to be low glycemic carbs. And excuse me, the like every berry, strawberries, blueberries, cranberries, blackberries, all of them are low glycemic. Uh, what that means um, is that it burns. It takes a long time to burn, so then you don't have a crash. Like if you eat like an orange, I believe oranges are high glycemic, so you get a spike in your blood sugar, everything. So what you need to do is if you eat low glycemic, it does a number of good things for you. One is that you won't have a sugar spike, and you won't you won't have uh, the excessive carbs, the buildup of that. And you should try to keep your carbs low. When I wanted to cut weight fast, I stayed under 15 grams of carbs in a day. That's really tough. I mean, for me, it was extremely difficult because I was sucking down tons of, you know, carb drinks, and they were full of sugar and just garbage. So, and I love to eat potatoes and bread and everything. All that I had to quit, because I was pre-diabetic, and I remember I was like, oh, I'm just, I jumped on the diet for a week and then I let it, then I quit doing it, right? So what happened was I became type 2 diabetic and I became it that fast. It went from pre-diabetes to diabetic, pre type 2 diabetic super fast. And so I was like, well, it's time to get serious. So I don't want to give myself shots. I don't like needles. So, and I don't like the idea of being unhealthy. So, um, I had to get tough mentally. A lot of people, they're going to complain, they're going to bitch and whine. If you don't want to get better, you're not going to. If your idea of getting better is to take medicine and fix it through medicine, that's a way. It is a way, but it still isn't 100%, and you'll still have issues from it. There's no, you can't just eat whatever the hell you want and take a pill or just inject yourself. It still is deteriorating you and ruining your life long term. You could lose your feet. You could, your body's gonna, when you get feet sores from, blood sugar issues, you can lose your feet. And it's not a game. This is real stuff. So, uh, the thing is, low glycemics, things like a lot of vegetables are low glycemic. Uh, you know, uh, what I eat is I eat pea protein, peanut butter, blueberries, a banana. I eat a yellow banana, not a green banana. Green bananas, excuse me, are uh, they can be like medium to high glycemic index, which means they burn really fast. Again, causing you spikes, not good. uh, so I do that. Blueberries, cranberries, and man, it's like it's actually it's incredible how fast you can make your body heal up. In a year's time, I had I had type 2 and I had kidney disease. And the kidney disease came from, medicine. Actually, I was taking medicine too long. The doctor didn't tell me I shouldn't be taking ibuprofen for 2 years. I was taking high doses, almost 1,000 milligrams a day. So anyway, back to the story. Um, as far as your protein intake, you should eat, or what I did was I ate red meat, uh, cow, basically, hamburgers. And I ate a lot of that, anywhere from 60 to 90% after the initial 6 weeks of, uh, well, 5 weeks of 100% carnivore. And then the sixth week, I was 90-10. And then the seventh week on for the rest of that year, and in fact, for the so far all the way till now, which is over 3 years. But the first year, I cut 50 pounds because I ate, on average, I ate 70% red meat, and uh, I ate probably 10% eggs, so that's 80%, and then 20% of low glycemic plants, and which I just said, is like, and I'd eat a thing of cabbage, a couple ounces of cabbage with lemon juice on it, a sprinkle of cayenne pepper on my food. I love cayenne pepper. I'd eat jalapenos and habaneros and such like that. I do things like that, flavorings and stuff. I do cut up a little bit of garlic and eat it with my hamburgers. Um, but what I'm getting at is, what actually helps you cut weight is when you replace all those bad carbs. A lot of people are like, well, I have to have some kind of carb. Technically, you don't. Your carbs can be replaced by fats. good fats, of course, and if you do that, your body will learn to, and it will adapt really quickly, and it will start burning the fat instead of the sugar. Because when we were forever ago, when we were in the trees, if you want to say it that way, or when before we were modern man, we were eating, we'd kill animals and eat them, and then our fat that we ate, that we consumed, is what we ran on, what our energy was from. That's what we burned. Um, so to in replace of carbs. Now, obviously, there's another line of thought that says that we, we were plant based, and when we found animals, we killed them and ate them. I'm not really sure which one's right. Uh, Depends on who you talk to. I follow the carnivore doctors, and I have a tendency to believe that the whole hunter gatherer sense, you know, of more of the hunter part of it than necessarily the gathering, depending on where you were at. I mean, I imagine if you were in different parts of the world, you're gonna have to hunt more than you are gather. And then sometimes, if let's say you were in an area like Washington, and there's fruits and plant life more available than maybe in the desert. Maybe you'd have more of the gathering sense where you ate a lot of plants. But what I'm getting at is a lot of the crap that we eat right now is just sugar and high carbs. Get rid of that and put low glycemic in its place. And I was a carb junkie. And if you have to have like that sugar rush, I understand. But replace it with a slow burning sugar, which or carb, which is the blueberries, and teach your body to eat stuff like that as opposed to the crap that you're eating right now. I know it's hard. For 3 years, people bring in donuts, they bring in all this crap, right? When I was on my strict diet for 3 years, I did not touch a donut. I did not do any of that. But when I cut 50 pounds and maintained it, in fact, my plan is to cut even more weight. My goal is to cut another, because I weigh about 226, I guess, not necessarily 230, but I want to cut down to about 200 pounds and be nice and lean, healthy, and make sure my blood pressure is low, not super low or anything. I just want it to be healthy, and I want to get rid of the excess weight. I have a little bit of a gut poking out on me right now, and I've been having issues with where I tore my stomach a little bit, so I don't know if I have to have surgery or whatever. I can still do calisthenics. Twisting resistant work is not good. I feel like I have a hernia real bad after I get done. Like when I shoveled for like 10 hours yesterday on Friday, and my guts did not feel good all night. They felt like they were bulging out on that side. So I've been having issues like that, but eventually I'm going to get an x-ray here in about 2 months. I'm waiting till the end of the season and then going to go in and get an MRA of the tissue. And then when I find out if I'm healthy, if there is no hernia, there's nothing, no torn anything, then, which I'm almost positive there is, I can't think of why else I get weird pressure in there like that. And then I'm going to go back on my strict diet, and I'm going to lean up and stay healthy as possible. I'm on a pretty good diet right now. I would say I eat like 95% perfect. And why I say 95 is a friend brought in a burrito and was like, "Hey, I bought this for you," and it had potatoes in it. And I started eating it, and I was stuffing it down, and I was like, "Oh shit, there's potatoes in here." And then I was like, man, and so I didn't finish it, but I still ate it. You know what I mean? So I typically, like I said, I don't eat breading on tacos. I don't eat stuff like that. Like when I have a taco, I open it up and eat all the contents on the inside. You know, now if there's lettuce mixed in with it, yes, I'll eat the lettuce. Uh, I'm not super picky like that. That much lettuce in a taco is like this much a pinch. That's why I say I'm 95%, doing what I'm supposed to. I call myself a meat-based dieter. I'm not a keto person. Keto does work from what I know. The carnivore diet definitely works. People, it is an elimination diet, is what a carnivore diet is. The keto diet, the only reason I don't do that one is because I was trying to get rid of my diabetes, and which I successfully did. I don't have diabetes anymore. I don't have pre-diabetes. Um, and back on track. As far as the keto goes, they'll eat high glycemic sometimes. I don't eat high glycemic. Like I don't cycle my food like that. Be like, oh, okay, well, it's this day. I'll be able to have a donut or whatever, and then although they have some amazing recipes, I think about keto all the time. Believe me, it's delicious. I'm a huge fan of what carnivore or meat-based people have accomplished. Uh, I've seen people fight off disease like you wouldn't believe. People beat cancer with it. People have MS, and then all of a sudden their symptoms are completely gone, and they haven't come back. People that are type 1 diabetics are not having to give themselves shots again. That's crazy, dude. That's an amazing, absolutely amazing thing right there. Diabetes is no joke. That's some really horrible stuff. People think, oh, I just got diabetes, I just could take a shot or I just take a pill. Yeah, I get that part. But if you don't fix your stuff, you don't fix yourself, it'll fix you. And you're going to wish to God when you don't got no damn feet that you would have done what you're supposed to, or if in your wheelchair or whatever. You can't see anymore. Your eyes are gone, things like that. It's not something to play around with, You can't. And I'm not saying if you are in a wheelchair right now and you're watching my video, I don't mean that you can't do anything. I'm just saying, like, if you had the choice to, you were able to walk, and then you were doing this to yourself and eating crap that you shouldn't eat, and then all of a sudden you couldn't walk. I mean, you had the choice and you saw it coming. You had a choice, right? And so you would prefer to have your feet over not. And I'm not saying that you're not an amazing athlete now or anything like that. If you are in a wheelchair, not saying anything bad about you, just so you understand that straight up. One of my favorite people in the world that just passed away in November, he was in a wheelchair, and he's been in a wheelchair for 20 some years. I absolutely love Bob. A great guy. He was a great leader, actually. The guy had an amazing past. He had MS, but anyway, back to the story. As far as like, what we're talking about, if you want to cut weight, eat a lot of red meat. Don't eat fried meats. Don't sit there and eat a bunch of fried chicken and think you're going to get healthy, because you're not. Don't eat a bunch of bacon thinking that you're going to be healthy, because you're not. Can't just stuff down bacon either, because it's got a lot of salt. It's got a lot of unless you get the bacon that isn't. I can't remember what it's called. I don't know if it's. Can't remember the exact. There's a company that does it, but I can't remember. But you can look it up. But if you're eating a ton of salt off of bacon and you're doing that all the time, it's not good. It's going to restrict because when you eat a bunch of salt, it restricts your veins. It pulls them in tight. And that's not good either. It jumps your blood pressure and so on. So just remember, low glycemic plants, and you can look them up on the internet, find recipes and just low glycemic recipes, and add meat to it. A lot of people go, "Oh, you don't need meat every day." It depends on who you are. If you want to be a vegan, you can be a vegan and just look up low glycemic and cut weight. If because I have seen people that were vegan that were overweight and they didn't feel good. And but there's some people that are vegetarian, same way. I've seen people eat mainly meat that are overweight and not feeling good too. So I mean, all three of these people, if you can say that's where you come from, but if you eat certain things and it affects you, you got to change that. So some people don't like gluten. It's like it destroys them. So if you know that, fix that before you have to have your intestines chopped out. Uh, don't be stubborn. Fix your health. It's that simple. I mean, it really isn't that big of a deal to change your lifestyle. You just have, like, I put a sign up that says, no sugar, dumbass. Because I needed to see that every day, because I'd be like, man, like, but then my past self was right there to say, hey, dumbass, don't eat any sugar. So, uh, I ate like 6 hamburgers in a day from breakfast until when I got home at night. So it was a 12-hour day, and anywhere from 5 to 7, sometimes 8 hamburgers. In the beginning, I ate more meat than I did than now. When I got home, I would have a shake, or my wife would be like, "Hey, I made some cabbage soup." Cabbage soup is really good for your kidneys too. So it's, and she loved to just try out different recipes, or she'd be like, "Hey, I have this, I have some chili, beanless chili or whatever." So I would eat that again, or sometimes there would be beans in it. My guts don't like beans at all. Like my whole stomach swells up. So I don't eat chili. Like 99% of the time, I never eat it. So, but if you want to cut weight, red meat, low glycemic, and to be honest with you, the majority of how you're going to lose weight is all about diet. You can throw an exercise program in there and work out and help help shape your body. I'm 100% for fitness more than I am anything than not being active. So find an exercise program that suits you and go after it, and you'll be surprised what you'll accomplish. And like I said, and uh, within the end of the beginning of 6 weeks, I had cut, I want to say it was 23 pounds. And then over the following, I think it was 6 or 7 months, I cut the rest. So, uh, 50 pounds total was pretty freaking awesome. And I'll tell you, it's weird when you can, your shirts are pretty much the same size, but your pants are 2 and 3 sizes smaller. You're like, holy crap, dude, I can't believe that, and you look in the mirror at your old picture, like you take a before picture, you go on this meat-based diet or 100% carnivore diet, and then within 30 days, like people are dropping 50 pounds in 30 days. That's crazy. 50 pounds, go pick up a dog food bag that weighs 20, and then just think, 2.5 of these is what I just dropped off my guts and my back and my butt and legs. I mean, it's crazy, crazy amount of weight. People lose 50 pounds in 30 days. Dude, and I'm telling you, you feel so much lighter on your feet. Your feet quit hurting. Man, my feet quit hurting the first 5 weeks. I had no more feet pain. It was crazy. 20 some pounds was killing me and I didn't even know it. My ankles hurt all the damn time. My lower back hurt. I had sciatica. I had it really bad too, where it felt like someone poured water down my leg, or I'd feel like I had a bee stinging me on my leg, random places, and I'd grab it, I'd go, oh, damn, look for a bug, and it never was. It was just, all that weight was crushing my spine down, So, um, and it's crazy. That first I got my blood pressure checked in between that time, and that was another thing. The doctor was like, "Man, your blood pressure is stupid high right now." It was 180s over 145s, and so I had to fix all of it. Like I said, my diet changed, dropped the weight. I started stretching my neck out, my back. I bought an inversion table. I bought a decompression unit for my neck. I started de-stressing. I started doing yoga type things. I did Wim Hof training, breath work. I did. I started doing calisthenics instead of bulking weight. Weightlifting, heavy lifting. I put all the heavy lifting off to the side because, I absolutely love lifting heavy stuff. That was just my thing. And I still a lot is. If my back wasn't doing what it's doing right now, I'd still be deadlifting and squatting and everything. I love throwing logs on my shoulders, running up mountains with it. I just kind of, I don't know. It's just something that I do. But um, there's a bunch of people that helped me transition to calisthenics more so than I've ever done in my life. Um, there's a guy, Hannibal is his name. I don't know where he's from offhand. I think it's New York. I could be wrong on that. He's from a big city. I know that much. He's a lean dude. But look him up. Hannibal for King is his group. Is who he is. So uh, he's he's uh, he's like a superhero, man. He's my age. He's 44, and he looks amazing. I mean, he's a thinner built guy. He's an ectomorph. I'm a mesomorph, which is a medium built guy, and he's a thin built guy. The guy has, I mean, he looks amazing. So, what there's a lot to that too. I mean, I don't think he's ever really bulked. He's just, worked on his build. He was smart. He worked on what if you want to say it, what God gave you, or what what our genetics adapted us to, or whatever, however you want to say that. I might have screwed that up, but genetically, what what we were meant to be able to do, I guess. Some people, like, you can see some massively built guys, like really big bone structure, like you check out their wrists, and their freaking wrists look like, as thick as some people's damn knees. They're freaking huge. I worked with a guy that had, I swear to God, he had like a 12-inch wrist, and I've got like a 9-inch wrist, 8 to 9, somewhere in there. And I was always like, damn, dude, that dude's big. My dad's got like an 11-inch wrist. He's just a really heavy built guy. I've got friends, though, grown men that have, they have like 6-inch wrists. They're an ectomorph. They're thin built, and they can get chiseled if they wanted. I mean, they can get ripped out with calisthenics. Oh man, they'd look like Greek gods, or better than Greek gods. People like Hannibal. That guy is like a superhero, man. He's just amazing. There's so many people like that do gymnastics work that uh, you know they're amazing looking. And if you don't want any disc issues, or if you have issues, go into calisthenics and build your body up. Um, some people say, oh, it doesn't build you, it doesn't make you look good. If you're a big guy or a big gal and you start doing calisthenics, I promise you will look amazing in a year. If you do it every day, you do a little bit every day, you'll get where you want to be. You'll be better than you thought you could be, I'll tell you that. And with a good diet program, like I just said, look it up, you'll get there. Anyway, I'm about ready to run out of time. Good luck, and please comment, and please follow me. Take care.